trying out these Earth Breeze laundry sheets and they're really good. I actually cut them in half unless it's a really filthy load, and you just stick it in here. I don't bother with any fabric softener, and I'm doing it on a quick wash because that's more energy efficient, but I'm not doing it on 30 because it's got a really stinky dog coat in it, so it needs a good wash. It's been rolling in fox poo. So here we go. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shoestring Jane, and if you watch me regularly, you'll know I talk about all things thrifty and frugal, saving money, but also with a little green tinge. I like to try to live more sustainably, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. Different ways of doing the laundry that are green, but also not too expensive. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Over the years, I have tried just loads of different things. I remember being very excited when Ecover first came out because it was a much more natural product. It was much better for the water system when it went out into the water. It had fewer chemicals. However, it was very expensive, and then over time I realised that it was always in a plastic bottle as well. So in the end, my decision, well, I tried various different things, but then I settled on using just big box powder from Aldi or Lidl. It was very cheap, came in a cardboard box, fully recyclable. However, I've always been conscious that it's still full of nasty stuff. So it was a compromise, very much a compromise. And then I have tried lots of other things. So one of the first things I tried was making my own laundry gloop. I don't know if any of you have tried doing that. So it was some time ago. It involved basically grating up soap, I seem to remember, adding washing soda, and then I had a borax substitute which kind of boosted it a little bit. And it was fiddly to make. I found it fiddly to make, fiddly to store, and it didn't do a brilliant job. It kind of cleaned the washing. It didn't come out feeling dirty, but it didn't really get rid of stains, and over time light coloured and white things got kind of grey and muddy, so I wasn't really particularly happy with that. I wasn't very content with that idea. I have also used for quite a number of years now an eco egg. So I bought this probably 3 years ago. I bought it in this pack with, it did actually say up to 3 years of clean laundry. And because I haven't used it solely, I've still got lots of these left. These are the sort of little balls that you have to refill it with. So I've got a couple of packets of those in there that you have to refill it with, and they kind of agitate the water. It lasts, this particular pack I bought lasts for 720 washes. And you don't have to use any detergent. It replaces harsh chemicals, and obviously it's eco-friendly. Although it's made of plastic, that's the only one you have to buy. It's really tough. You're never likely to have to do it again. So I have used this for several years, so about 3 years I would say. I have found it's perfectly good on a dark coloured wash. So if you've got darks, black items, blue items, those kind of things, it's fine. It cleans them. It doesn't leave any kind of smell. You don't have, like when you use commercial products, you get an overwhelming perfume. Well, I don't actually want that. I know it smells nice, but it's also just a load of chemicals, so I don't really want it. So this, it cleans well on dark things, but I had the same problem as I had with the laundry gloop. It didn't really do a great job on lighter coloured things, or where there were stains. I was having to use some sort of pre-laundry stain remover type thing, which means you've got to go through every single item to see whether it's got anything that's going to be difficult to remove. I did try using Dry Pack. They're the ones that do all the soda crystals and citric acid and that kind of thing. They had a laundry booster, and I did use that for a bit, and that did help with the whites. So I have used that. I still do use this. So that's something that I have used for relatively recently. I then tried soap nuts. Good old soap nuts. So these are actually a berry. They are a natural product, some kind of berry, which does contain some kind of soapy type substance, saponin is it called? So they do actually provide a little bit of lather, not very much. You'll see when the washing machine's going around, you'll get a little bit of lather. And you can use these in all sorts of products. I did try to make some washing up liquid with it as well. And you can feel it. It feels kind of sticky when you touch them. But I had the same problem as Laundry Gloop. They probably didn't do even as well as Laundry Gloop. They didn't actually. They didn't clean that well. I did wonder after using these whether it would make any difference if I used nothing at all. So I did a few washes of dark items with nothing except the agitation of the washing machine creates, and I don't think that was any worse than using soap nuts. So I am going to find some other use for soap nuts, because I think they do have various uses, but I don't really think that they're that great for washing. I really want them to work, but you know, I'm being honest, they are very eco-friendly. They're a natural product. I know lots of people use them successfully and they're really happy with using them, but I just didn't find them very good. I mean, it's not like we work on a building site, but we do a lot of gardening. We take the dog out for walks. Our clothes don't get filthy, but sometimes they do need a decent wash. So, you know, they're not really for me. So I wanted them to work, but they weren't the best. I do put citric acid in my washing machine. It's another dry pack product, because I love dry pack. If you go onto their website, they've got so many useful hints and tips for using their products to do so many things that you might buy a very harsh chemical product for. For citric acid, I've been using as a fabric softener. So I don't use fabric softener very often. I don't feel like I need to put some fabric softener in, but occasionally, if I've got a whole heap of towels or something, I'll use some of this diluted in water, and I think that works really well. I actually think it works better than white vinegar, which I also have tried before. And the other product I use that's just reasonably eco-friendly is this Vanish soap bar. So, I mean, it obviously has some chemicals in it. It's Vanish. It's better than the Vanish products that come in plastic. You can get the spray bottles, can't you? You can get the foamy stuff. I think this works as well, if not better than those. Simply rubbed on your stain. You just wet it a bit, rub that on, and that works really well. Plus it comes in a bar. It did come with a plastic tray, which is a shame. I don't really see why they needed the plastic tray, but I guess it's kind of useful to sit it on. But it comes in a cardboard box, so it's not perfect, but it's worth having if you're using some of these eco-friendly products. So all of those things that I've mentioned so far have been really quite cheap. This did, how much did this cost? I have to have a look. I think it cost maybe about £15. You can get them more cheaply if you don't get so many of the replacement beads. But when you consider what you can pay for washing liquid or washing powder, it very soon paid for itself. So that wasn't too expensive. Again, the soap nuts were very inexpensive, about £7-8 for that big bag. And then something that I have started using, and disclaimer, I was gifted these two things from Earth Breeze. One is fragrance free and one's fresh scent, which does smell quite nice actually, but not overwhelming like some of those smell. And these are good because they are little laundry sheets. So the sheets are about this size. I have found that I can cut those in half and just use half of those, and they're really effective. Now these work really well. I like the fact that they come in a very minimal paper packaging, and they're very light. So when you consider when you buy big plastic bottles of things, they're often mainly water, aren't they? You're transporting water, and all of the trucks and lorries and things and the big plastic bottles that are required in order to transport those things from where they are produced to where they're going to be sold and then back to your house. So I do think these are quite a good alternative. They are vegan, they have they're biodegradable, and they are have very few chemicals in comparison to other products. So I do think they're good. They say every purchase is helping stop 700 million plastic jugs from reaching landfills and oceans each year. The downside with Earth Breeze, you can buy a one-off, which costs about £15 for a packet of this, which is probably quite expensive per wash. Much better if you cut them in half like I do. So that really does help, and they're perfectly adequate as well. if you subscribe, so if you do a lot of washing and you subscribe, then that price goes massively down. I'll put all the details in the description box below with my referral code as well. And to say, full disclaimer, it is an affiliate code. If you use this and sign up either for a one-off purchase or to a subscription service, I will get a small commission. But I would not, I've been using these for a couple of months, and I would not mention these at all if I hadn't tried them myself and didn't think they were really good, and I am going to continue to use them. So I've got lots of other products I need to use first. So I've got a big box of powder as well downstairs from Aldi, which also needs using up. So I'm going to need to use some things up, and then they take literally no space in the cupboard. I can stick them in a drawer. So I'm really quite impressed with those. So those are the different kind of eco-friendly laundry things that I have used over the years. I think that's everything. Now, with these, I don't use it at all. I don't find I need fabric softener with these, so I guess that's another saving if you like using fabric softener. I haven't even used the citric acid at all since I've been using those. So I think they're pretty good. I think all of these things have upsides and downsides, really. So as I said before, if you buy something like Ecova or some of those other products that come in plastic bottles, you've got the downside of the plastic bottle always, and the fact that most of it is water and that's been transported, but they do have less of the nasty stuff, chemicals that's going to end up on your skin, on your clothes and into the water system. So that is something to consider as well. Things like this, brilliant. I just wish they worked better, because that would be excellent. I guess they don't grow them in the UK, so they do have a transportation cost coming from India or wherever they grow them. And again, this you know, it has a cost to produce. It's made of plastic, but once you've got one, that's it. So they are, you know, they're pretty good. If you haven't got a family, I think if I had children with lots of stains and muck and paint and dirt and stuff like that, I don't think the Eco Egg would probably do it. But I do think that the Earth Breeze would be adequate to that. The other thing I should mention, of course, when we're talking about eco-friendly laundry, is how you dry it. So I don't have a tumble dryer. I haven't had a tumble dryer. I've resisted the urge over many years because they use too much energy for me. So being frugal, of a frugal mindset, I don't want to use that much electricity to dry my clothing. I don't think it's necessary, really. If I have a sunny day, I'll get the clothes out on the washing line in the garden. If it's raining, I have a clothes horse, an airer inside, and it can, now when you've got a family and you've got a lot of laundry, it can feel quite hard going to do that. I have always done it though, but I've kind of helped myself by doing things like having a heated airer. So I have a small heated airer at the moment, which I've donated to the lodger because she dries her laundry in her bedroom and she wants it done fairly quickly in bad weather. I also have a dehumidifier. So we bought the dehumidifier, nothing to do with drying the laundry. We bought it because we had a bit of a condensation problem in this house. We've also always had one. And it solved that and stopped mould developing around the edges of the windows and that kind of thing. But we then discovered it had a clothes drying feature on it. So we started using that. So you just need to close the window, stick your laundry in one room, turn on your dehumidifier on the laundry drying setting for however many hours, a couple of hours. It's still very, very much cheaper and more energy efficient than a tumble dryer. And it doesn't, okay, you can't quickly dry something. It will dry something over a few hours, or you can get it started, or you can get it finished. It's really good, but it doesn't fill the house with liquid and condensation and that kind of thing. So that's really good, and that we found that very, very useful. Because obviously I'm trying to be more green, I use that as little as possible now. I mean, for example, it's a really lovely sunny day now. It's November, but it's a beautiful sunny day. I've done a quick wash this morning and I'm about to put that on the line for a couple of hours. So I'll start it off there, then I'll bring it in and finish it inside. May or may not use the dehumidifier. We'll see how it goes. We're all trying to be more energy conscious at the moment in the UK because prices are going sky high. So for those of us on quite limited incomes, it's going to be quite a shock to keep the house heated, to cook and wash clothes and light the house and that kind of thing. It's going to cost so much more going forward, particularly next year, that everything we can do to save energy is a good thing financially, but also from a climate change perspective, we need to learn to be more efficient and energy conscious and use less energy. So I would say if you are somebody who always just thinks, oh, so it's winter now, I'll chuck everything in the dryer, how about just stick them on the line, invest in a washing line and some pegs, and it comes in smelling lovely. Particularly sheets that have been dried outside smell lovely. They bring that nice outdoor smell inside, so unless someone's got a bonfire going or something, in which case perhaps not so good. But yes, I really recommend that anyway. Get yourself some dryer things sorted out. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on eco-friendly laundry methods that aren't too expensive. So what do you think? I'd love to know what you use. Do you make laundry glue? Do you use a special recipe? If you give us some links to those recipes, that would be good. And just see what you think. I'll leave all of the links to anything like this, anything I've mentioned, in my description box below. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to give me the thumbs up and do subscribe, and then come back next time. You'll see what else I've got to publish. If you hit your notifications bell, you'll know what's coming up as well. Thanks for watching. See you for now. Bye.